Welcome to Hype Responsibly, a show where I share my thoughts on video games presentations with absolute composure like a reasonable gamer should, catching a very fan service heavy state of play. Let's dive into it. I feel like VR games more often than not are being used as show starters. Right off the bat, we get 4 VR games that features shooting. No surprises there. Can't get enough of Mr. French Fries fingers over here. Look at this reload using the stone. And the 5th game though is a narrative game that plays with your eyes, believe it or not. Before your eyes. The game has you look back to memories of the past, and if you blink your eyes, you jump forward in time, showing the fragility of our memories, either important or less eventful. Got to know this game from Jacob Galore. It's available on PC, playable with a webcam if you want that authentic experience, or even just your standard input devices works fine too. A tear jerker is what I heard, so prepare to get all watery wearing that VR headset. Oh dear, good luck on wiping your tears in that thing when you bawl. Are those smokes supposed to be carbon dioxide? I got nothing much to say about Destiny 2, except the fact that every time they get an expansion trailer, the game always looks different from before. Either because it has an aesthetic I can hardly register, hence the inconsistency, or they were able to push their designs with a huge variety of different themes. If they don't show me this little thing right here, I wouldn't know it's Destiny until the title dropped. And every time it shows up, I'm surprised it is still going. Live service is nothing to scoff at when they are so good at creating loops that people feel comfortable to just jump in and get their adrenaline fix. Maybe the story has been good so far. Players of the game can let me know in the comments. So before I sound too negative on a game I have not played, let's move on to the next one. Yikes. Tchia already had multiple showings in the past and is about to release. Wishing the best for the game and just appreciating how a small team of people took up a challenge to make a game on a particular culture. Based on a fictional version of New Caledonia, glad to have learned about that place. I would say the beauty of the place is video game worthy, and you might just have the destination of your next holiday trip decided. Wow, calling out everybody's dream right there. What, not you? I wonder. What does this game have to say about human conflict? In a dog's perspective, where they can just love about anyone who treats them nice enough, conflicts don't matter when you only have love to give. Do you wish to be a dog now? I welcome our doggo overlord. At first, I have nothing to say about Goodbye Volcano High, but after hearing this for the second time,
class president's speech at the assembly, in light of the whole space rock potential demise of civilization thing,
and the fact that these characters are anthropomorphic dinosaurs plus the meteor in the logo, I guess it's worth a mention after all. Soon to graduate dino teens dealing with anxiety of the world ending, when the next stage of their life was just about to start. Pretty grim to say the least. I can't help but to think that's the kind of anxiety the next generation is dealing with, when you look at the sorry state of our current world. Anyway, the allegory is pretty cool. The games got delayed several years due to the pandemic, a narrative reboot, and vowing to not take crunch. Despite all that, it is still coming out. Got to respect that. When I see the word connection, I internalize it as a mobile title, but it's not. It's the Ultimate Ninja Storm series. That shot is cool. I kind of understand the appeal of arena fighters recently, when I just finished rewatching Kill la Kill for the nth time and realized, wouldn't it be fun to be able to simply play as the characters in the show, using their signature movesets in a video game environment, controlling a character you love. There's value in that fantasy, and so Arena Fighter is the answer, for action series that is. These games at their baseline serves as fan services to their fanbase. Just look at the trailer, it's a supercut of all the epic moments from the show. Like the Kill la Kill If game I just mentioned includes a what if scenario different from the anime. Canon or non-canon, there are still extra content for the fans of the IP. We get to see so many new cinematic super moves rendered in 3D and play with updated characters with whatever new powers the previous game did not caught up on. Occasionally, you even get one that has enough depth to be worth competing over. The Kill la Kill game had some bangers top 8. From little I know, the Ultimate Ninja Storm series is well loved by fans, so congratulations for them. I have never played a tabletop RPG sim before, let alone Baldur's Gate, but I do fancy the appeal. Playing with your mates, crafting your own unique stories. It's a time sink, but man, I can only imagine there are unforgettable times. First they show the biggest of boys and then the smallest of girls, and ends with a fan favorite. A very deliberate choice to show an excellent stretching emote here. Thank you Capcom for the fan service. Cammy might as well change her name to Mummy. With these 3 characters revealed, the entire roster at launch is complete. Whether we have any more surprises or not, it's up to Capcom. Also, a big congratulations to the fighting game community, for Capcom has just announced a 2 million prize pool for their next Street Fighter tournament, the Capcom Cup 10, of which the champion gets $1 million. I don't discuss money often, but for all I know, this number is unprecedented in the entirety of fighting game esports. A literal game changer, and I'm happy for them. It is perhaps safe to assume only Street Fighter can make this happen among other titles of the fighting game genre, given how iconic the brand is and its worldwide appeal. And perhaps more interestingly, Capcom's interest is worth to take note here. Esports is being taken more seriously in Japan and it shows. So yeah, SF6 is going to be a big deal for fighting game fans new and old in so many ways. Perhaps my most worried Resident Evil remake of all. Consider just how much of an influence the original still is, and being the one I played the most growing up. Praise Mikami Shinji. This trailer is the most fan service RE4 trailer of all. I've played the original for about 3 times through only, but everything they showed here is totally made for me. The mind thrower that I used to make a fool of the enemies, the super Krauser, exactly one glimpse of Ada, and so many memorable sections of the game, my goodness. You can feel the original is an all-time classic from this trailer alone. The remake had always begged a question in my head. Is there a point, other than trying to sell one of the most legendary game again? But now that they are showing a near final product, I do have my concerns lowered down by a lot. It's not going to be the original, and whatever new mechanics added to the game seems to be integrated properly. It is looking fine. Being able to expand on the cultist aspect, the very distinct griminess of Los Illuminados, it's exciting to see as a fan of the original. Trailer ends with a tease on the chair where Leon and Ashley got their parasites removed. I guess the drama of the game is going to be exaggerated, since I remember that scene being pretty low-key. They sat down, took it out, that's it. One thing I will say though, it will probably never capture that so bad it's good janky early 2000s voice acting that gave the original its unique charm. That game is a product of the time in the best way possible.
Just because you killed my small-time subordinate.
Sadler, you're small-time.
Oh.
Can the name of this game get any more edgier? If that Resident Evil 4 trailer was tailor-made to show everything right for longtime fans like me, then the 15-minute Suicide Squad showcase is showing everything wrong for a non-fan like me, even though I find the movement of the gameplay rather interesting. It's a shame really. The combat has a lot of emphasis on movement, floating in the air, shooting in the air. It is such a floaty game even the bonking didn't feel impactful. I think the problem is not the animation, but rather the dynamic camera works. I imagine the stage must be crafted deliberately for the combat. Thick buildings with wide enough rooftops for landing, minimal narrow alleys on the floor level in case players fall into them, things like that. I also noticed there are specialized skills for each character, but not specialized weapons. Everybody just shoots, I guess?
Just checking. We're all seeing that thing, right? I'm a frickin' superstar. Are you on Team Waller or Team Get the Hell Out of This Mess?
Even when they are talking about gameplay, they are still using one-liners as the sequence breaks, like all those under par movie trailers out there. Oh my god.
Each character has a power level in the game that we call gear score. As you acquire gear in
Oh no, looter gears, bloated numbers, starts churning gear and potentially gets churned by microtransactions. I have my problems with gear looters, which I have shared in my Neo deep dive video. But imagine racking your brain over digital numbers you can only vaguely feel their effectiveness while the game stares at you having a hands out, asking you for more money. It can only get so grim. I have no problems with people finding their own fun over farming gears, min-maxing the number game, but these are the people who will be the primary target for the scheme. It's not the heroes or the anti-heroes that are strong, it's the numbers you see, and deep pocket of money. Seems like it was promised that the battle pass will only contain cosmetics, but when it comes to this, we can't say for certain right from the get-go. It's a live service game on a fan service game. It's supposed to be long running, so we don't know how it will turn out later in that service period. At least everyone is now wary, I guess. It's also kind of interesting that we only get to find out about the game being a live service game just 3 months before the actual release. Food for thought right there.
Just checking. We're all seeing that thing, right?
And that is all for the state of play. I would like to thank Capcom for their showcase. I'm sorry, I mean thank Sony for the showcase. A little sad, indies didn't get much love here. Come on, Yoshida-san, you better deliver whatever you are hiding in the next show. If you would like more hype responsibly, consider supporting me by subscribing. I have some anime and manga videos on my other channel. Appreciate it if you check them out too. Thanks for watching folks, and please remember to hype responsibly.